I had no idea he was on his motorcycle that day.
I was literally walking through the door whenever I got the call from my mom.
Yeah, that's just something I never imagined, that like life would just kind of pause for a moment, stop.
The first thing I heard was a woman on the other end saying, "Your husband's okay, but he's been in a motorcycle accident and he's on his way to the hospital."
Normally when people say that, like, it's not really how it is.
And you always hear about how like life could just go so fast, but I've never felt that until then. What if that was the last time that I hugged Dad or saw him leave and I didn't even really say bye?
October 2nd, 2020. Rob Hull was riding home from a meeting in downtown Nashville when he was hit from behind by a truck and launched over the handlebars of his motorcycle. His head hit the pavement as his body skidded on the highway. His wife Carrie, his son Mason, and his daughter MJ rushed to the hospital, contacting family and friends for urgent prayer for his survival.
We were texting all of the people that we knew just to pray for him, and we were praying for him on the way there because we had no idea how bad it was going to be or what to even expect.
Through prayer, I've seen God work miracles, and we just needed prayer. We needed people to rally around us, and we needed to pray for Rob.
Rob was taken to the nearest trauma hospital, fading in and out of consciousness.
So with COVID restrictions, they only let Mom in there to go see him. So that kind of felt like a slap in the face to just like be like, great, well, yeah, we're not gonna hear anything until, you know, Mom hopefully lets us know immediately. And that was a moment where I think me and my sister weren't scared of the intimacy of really praying together and with faith and boldness and expecting. I think that's something I'll always really appreciate looking back, was getting to share that with my sisters, that we had each other to pray together.
They waited anxiously as emergency room staff took x-rays and a CT scan, concerned he may have a broken neck, cracked vertebrae, or a brain bleed. Still unsure of Rob's condition, Carrie cautiously approached her battered husband.
I think that's when the fear started to set in, was the minute I saw him in the bed, and was almost afraid to walk any closer to see what I was gonna see. I remember looking down and seeing his boots and his clothes on the ground, and they were shredded, like the boots were shredded. And that really hit me, how bad it actually was. And then when I came up to the side of him, I could see all the road rash and everything on the whole right side of his body.
Rob drifted in and out of consciousness while they waited for the results of the CT scan. Finally, Carrie was able to FaceTime MJ and Mason.
The first thing that I saw was my dad sitting there with a neck brace on. He could barely talk, and he was just like looking at us, and it was scary, but it was good to see that he was talking to us and he was there alive when probably shouldn't have been.
It was such a deep breath of relief that was like, okay, he's conscious, but you know, seeing someone you love in that state of just pain was just really hard to look at.
After several hours, they received amazing news. Doctors determined that although Rob had suffered a traumatic brain injury, he was cleared to go home that same night.
I remember this nurse looking over my chart. She goes, well, we can't find any brain bleed. We can't find any cracked vertebrae. We can't find any broken bones. You are lucky. And I was laying there still in my neck brace on the table, you know, and I said, this isn't luck. I'm blessed. This is God with me, you know. Man, he was, yeah, God was with me. I mean,
there was no broken bones or internal bleeding. I just knew, okay, God had him. I mean, God really protected him that day.
It was just a miracle, just knowing how bad it really could have been. And then just seeing my dad walk out of the hospital that night and hugging us and everything, like, it was truly a miracle.
I just remember just deep appreciation for everything that I got to share with my dad and continue to get to share with my dad because of his recovery from the wreck. Just joyfulness that we get to still go on adventures, make things as creatives. And yeah, I mean, every time I see him, I just so thankful.
Knowing that Rob could possibly not be here today is just, I mean, I'm so thankful and grateful that God spared his life that day.
Rob made a full recovery, thankful for answered prayers in his family's desperate time of need.
I'm thankful God spared me. I am. He could have taken me and called me home. I could have woken up in heaven and not known even what happened, because as I woke up on the concrete, I didn't even know what had happened. So it could have been a transition to heaven, but I'm thankful he spared me.
The comfort of friends and family praying for us was huge. And then I was feeling the peace of the Holy Spirit, which I know came from the power of prayer.